इंग्लिश लिटरेचर जो बेसिक्स हैं, जैसे हम लैंग्वेज के बेसिक्स पढ़ते हैं, पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच कॉमनली हम लैंग्वेज में स्टडी करते हैं। स्कूल्स में, कॉलेजेस में, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में, कॉम्पिटिटिव क्लासेस में हमें पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच पढ़ने ही पड़ते हैं। क्यों? बिकॉज दे आर द फंडामेंटल एंड बेसिक्स ऑफ द लैंग्वेज। टाइम एंड अगेन वी आर टू रिपीट, वी आर टू रीड देम। लाइकली दैट इन लिटरेचर, लिटरेचर की जो स्टार्टिंग है, लिटरेचर की जो फंडामेंटल है, वो हमारे स्कूल से शुरू होते हैं। जैसे ही हम कॉम्पोजिशनल पार्ट को कवर करते हैं, लाइक राइटिंग एन स्टोरी, राइटिंग लेटर्स, राइटिंग एप्लीकेशन, राइटिंग एन एसे, राइटिंग एन आर्टिकल, रिपोर्ट, नोटिस राइटिंग। So these are the parts of the literature. Compositional part, how to create जैसे हम फंडामेंटल रीड करते हैं लिटरेचर के, जिनमें आपने कंपोजिशनल राइटिंग की हुई है, और वो हमारी क्रिएटिविटी को दर्शाता है कि हाउ मच क्रिएटिव वी आर, हाउ मच जनरेटिव ऑपरेटिव वी आर। दैट वाज अ सिंबल ऑफ दैट थिंग। फॉर राइटिंग एनी शॉर्ट स्टोरी, फॉर राइटिंग एनी लेटर, एप्लीकेशन इन कॉलेज, we know this thing, how to generate our knowledgeable, informative, instructive, directive words, thoughts and ideas without taking the help of the text. What is a drama? What is a drama? Drama is the name of stage performance. Drama is the name of stage performance. And what is a novel? Novel. Novel means imaginatively performed. Imaginatively performed without any stage. When we try to write any compositional part without any stage, right? So this is the basic difference between drama and novel. Novel need not any drama. Novel need not any stage. Novel need not any stage. But drama needs stage. This is the basic difference between novel and drama. Otherwise, both these are the common compositional parts of literature. We will read this thing. In writings of Shakespeare, you will find this thing. When Shakespeare born? When did Shakespeare born? In 1564. In 1564. And when Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj born? 1469. He born in 1469. And when India was discovered? In 1498. And East India Company came in India in which year? 1600. 1600. Around 1600 means in the starting of the 17th century period. When we used to write 1601, 2, 3. So this is the starting of the 17th century period in English literature. And in the beginning of the 17th century period, we find that Shakespeare has written numberless tragedies like Hamlet, Lear, Othello, The Merchant of Venice. These are his important tragedies. These are his important tragedies. In spite of these, he wrote some of the comedies like Much Ado About Nothing, Twelfth Night, As You Like It. These are his important comedies. But according to Shakespeare, he says that tragedy is better than comedy. Tragedy is better than comedy. Why? Because tragedy brings purification, purgation, pity and fear. It creates pity and fear. Tragedy creates pity and fear. Hence, it brings reformation. As you study in the history of English literature, in the Elizabethan age, we read the starting of the Elizabethan age from the 14th century period. From the 14th century period, this is the starting of the Elizabethan age. And this is also known as the modern history in English literature. This is known as modern history in English literature. So this was the time of innovation, invention, revolution in discoveries, inventions, imaginations, creativities, cooperativities, generativities. Today, as we are going through this time, so this was the same time in history of English literature in 14th, 15th, 16th century period. So this was known as Renaissance time. This was known as Renaissance time, means when there was a rebirth. After Renaissance we study Reformation age. After Renaissance we study Reformation age. What does the meaning of Reformation? Reformation in Hindi we say Punarsudhar. Or first, Renaissance means Punarjagran. In Reformation period, we read that everyone, those who were running after the teachings of Holy Bible, they started thinking upon the words and thoughts, ideas of the Holy Bible. What does the Holy Bible actually say? They tried to experimentize on it. So Galileo and Copernicus, these were the two persons, those who invented telescope, and by the discovery of, was it discovery or was it invention? It was invention. Invention it was. By the invention of the telescope. It brought revolutionary and visionary change. It brought revolutionary and visionary change because there was many persons, those who were challenging the teachings of the Holy Bible, and some scientists expressed, challenged that our earth is revolving west to east. The earth is in X shape. There were two principles and doctrines in the minds of the people that converted the theory of the Holy Bible totally. So it brought a revolution at that time. It happened due to, why did it happen there? Freedom of thinking. Freedom of thinking. By the freedom of thinking, there came reformation, rejuvenation, and regeneration, reoperation, reformation. Everyone started thinking that whatsoever is written in the Holy Bible, that can be converted according to time, place, and action. The Holy Bible says that God does exist in the words. in the words. But there were some scientists, those who claim that God or Lord does exist where there is not the existence of God even. This created upheaval in the mind and heart of the people, in the mind and heart of the readers. What happened there at that time? It brought revolution. It brought revolution. Milton, John Milton, perhaps you have studied. Have you studied John Milton? John Milton, who is known as a religious poet, totally spiritual and religious poet he was a strong and ardent believer of the teachings of the Holy Bible. He was the forerunner of the teachings of the Holy Bible. That's why he wrote such writings which were totally based upon Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained. On his 23rd birthday, perhaps you have studied his poem. On his 23rd birthday, on his blindness, on his 23rd birthday, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained. These were the important writings of the John Milton, who is known as the religious poet in English literature. But later on, we study this was the time of Romantic Age. Perhaps you have studied Romantic Age. Have you gone through Romantic Age? What happened in 1789? Something happened in the history. 1789, there was the French Revolution. There was French Revolution in 1789. Then William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge, both they started writing lyrical ballads in 1798. Up to that time, means in the end of the 18th century period, in the end of the 18th century period, everyone was running after collecting materialistic goods from the world. They were collecting their comfortabilities, their conveniences, their luxuries. But what happened? Consequently, there was revolution in 1789. But William Wordsworth suggested to the worldly people that materialism cannot bring the peace and prosperity of your mind and heart. Materialism cannot bring peace and prosperity of your mind and heart. So he told to the people, return to the nature. Return to the nature. What is the nature? According to William Wordsworth, what is the meaning of nature? Around us, our human body is made by 5 elements: air, fire, soil, sky and water. These 5 elements are in the form of nature with us, and we are to love and like these 5 elements. Firstly, to be friendly and familiar with nature, according to William Wordsworth. Throughout his different poems like Lucy Gray, The Word is Too Much with Us, Ode on Immortality of Heart and Mind, Immortality of Inventions, numberless such poems he wrote that appreciated nature. He also suggested to her sister Dorothy Richardson. He said that worldly people may deceive you. Worldly people may deceive you at any time because of their selfishness. They have their self-interest behind them, but this is only the nature around us. We have in the form of the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky. birds, plants, trees, all these are the forms of nature. And these things will never betray you, will never deceive you. He provided this thing to the worldly people in 1798 when William Wordsworth and S.T. Coleridge both they started writing. What did he say while writing poem? Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of our powerful feelings. Poetry क्या होती है? What does the meaning of poetry? What does the meaning of poem? Poem is not that which we try to compose, which we try to compose, and for that we search any dictionary meaning. If we are finding any dictionary meaning and we are composing them and we are creating a poem, that is not the original poem. According to William Wordsworth, he says that poetry is the spontaneous overflow, automatically, spontaneous, natural. Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of our powerful feelings that are recollected in tranquility of our heart and mind. When we recollect them, when we remember them, in the tranquility, in the peace of our heart and mind, that is the real meaning of poem, according to William Wordsworth. But it was not according to T.S. Eliot, who is known as the modern poet. Perhaps you have heard the name of T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot, who is known as the modern novelist, who has written The Waste Land. He says that poetry is not the turning loose from emotions. He says that poetry is not the turning loose of our emotions, but an escape from emotions. The theory was totally turned. It turned the table of the theory. But let's go through firstly. William Wordsworth was totally in favor of nature. He was the worshipper of nature, priest of nature. Further, he says nature nurtures us like a mother. Nature treats us like a doctor. Nature teaches us like a teacher. Nature plays multi-dimensional, multi-sided, multifaceted role in our life. Nature makes us creator, generator, co-creator in the different skills. In the formative years, bottom to top, root to fruit, first to last, a man gets the lesson, takes the lesson from nature. Obviously, our India also believe in these things. We believe in unread is more powerful than read. Unspoken is more important than spoken. Unlistened is more effective than listened. Unwritten is more powerful than written. According to John Keats, who is known as the Romantic poet also. He also belongs to the same age. He also belongs to the Romantic age. William Wordsworth and John Keats. John Keats further says that beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. Beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. Beauty is beauty. Beauty is beauty. According to whom? John Keats. Art is long, life is short. Our life is short, but art is long lasting. Art is immortal. Art is immortal, unperishable. Whatsoever we have around us, like these kind of designs, pictures, photos, these we have different type of skills, and these are immortal, unperishable, according to John Keats. Our lifetime is forever. Our lifetime is short. It's not a long-lasting. Likely that William Wordsworth also says that nature is permanent. Something is permanent, that is nature, and according to John Keats, something is permanent, that is art. To the art, he says everything. But there are some similarities between John Keats and Swami Vivekananda of our India. Have you heard about Swami Vivekananda? Have you heard? Swami Vivekananda, who got just after 6 years from the first freedom battle from India in 1857. 1857, it was the first battle started against for the freedom. After this, just after that time, just after 6 years of this time, in 1863, there was the birth of Swami Vivekananda on this earth. In 1893, what happened? Swami Vivekananda went to the USA. He addressed to the worldly people, my brothers and sisters of the America. These were the two important words. And these words created upheaval in the worldly people. Because of the purity of the words, purity of the character, Swami Vivekananda put it in front of the people of the world. And perhaps you have studied in between, there was the birth of Mahatma Gandhi in 1869. When there was the establishment of Congress in India? 1885. It was the time of 1885. And 19th century period and 20th century period we study as a modern English literature. We study the most modern English literature is written during this time because of revolution in industrialization. Because of revolution in industrialization. Anyhow, we are talking and discussing about romanticism. Romanticism is clear. Who were the romantics? Who were the romantics? Those who were the believer of the nature. And they advocated, addressed, appealed to the worldly people. God or Lord lies in the nature. Where is God? Where is Lord? Lord or God does exist in nature. According to the Holy Bible, according to Christianity, our body is made by 5 elements, and these 5 elements are in the form of Lord of God, always with us, and these elements are always friendly and familiar with us. This is the common concept of all the holy religions of this holy land. Every religion that we study, those who came first on this land, starters, beginners and initiators of the different religions, they addressed this thing. What does Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj says? Abban means first of all. Abban Allah, Lord, Payo, Kudrat, Kesam, Bande, Ek, Nurte, Sujat, Ujaya, Kon, Male, God first created himself in the form of light and sound. Then that light collided with the 84 lakh species, and there was vibration, activation in the 84 lakh species. This is how the world came in form of existence. According to Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, according to Sikhism, likely that the Holy Bible says the word has come from light and sound. These were the theories and philosophies. These were very common at that time. You will read this thing. Swami Vivekananda addressed to the worldly people. He told to the world that according to Indian philosophy, we also feel the existence of Lord where there is lightless and soundless. We also feel the presence of Lord in lightless and soundless. These places are also the form of Lord or God. If God is the name of light, if God is the name of sound, then who is there in soundless? Who is there in lightless places? There is also the existence of God. There is also the existence of God according to Hindu mythology, according to the Vedas. So that's why we are addressed to the America, to the Canada, to America, and even beyond the European countries, Australians. Lord does exist according to our Hindu mythology, lightless and soundless places. Anyhow, these are the resemblances and similarities you will find in the thoughts and ideas of the different generators, operators and creators of the social reforms, social, like Honorable Buddha. What did he start? Honorable Buddha, who started Buddhism. Jainism started by Mahavir Swami. Brahma Samaj was started by Radha Ram Mohan Roy. Who started Arya Samaj? Dayanand Saraswati. So our Indian land is known as the land of starters, builders and initiators of the different religions, missions. All they came in India, and we read them in the form of reformations. This was a reformation period that came in England. Not only confined, it was up to Germany and Italy, but it influenced all over the world. All worldly people were influenced by it. In the 20th century period, what do we study? What happened in this period? There was revolution in industrialization. There was revolution in industrialization, and consequently there was the starting of First World War. And in 1914 to 18, 1914 to 18. This was the time of First World War. When there was Second World War, in 1938 to 45. This was the time of Second World War. After the ending of the Second World War, Germany and Italy, both these countries were responsible because democracy was demolished and dictatorship was amassed. Dictatorship and tyranny was amassed in 1938 by Nazism and Fascism. These were two parties that created dictatorship. Why do we recollect such things? Because our literature is totally influenced by history. What is the base of literature? History. Without history, without events, incidents, without changes, how literature can be generated? Literature cannot be generated. How a writer can try to write? How a composer can compose anything without the change, without incident, event? So history is equally important. But history tells us only what? Dates or time. History only tells us about time. Means what is. It tells us what is, when is, where is, how is, why is. But not it tells us what should be. History doesn't tell us what should be, but literature tells us what should be? Literature gives us solution. Literature is the part of science, but not history. But not history. No doubt you will study this thing in the writings of the holy book of Discovery of India by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, first Prime Minister of India. He wrote this thing that our present lies in the past. Our present lies in the past. Whatsoever we see around us, in the form of national heritage, national properties, forest, vegetation, our oceans, our continents, that had come from past. It is the contribution of past. It is the contribution of past. According to whom? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So history becomes history. On the other hand, we can say story. The second name of history is story. History, recording, downloading, saving, copying, imitating. These words are somewhat similar, not completely. These words are not completely the meaning of each other, but these words can be used in the form of substitute. At any time, if you don't have the one word, then you can use. Similarly, in other languages also it happens. So likely that it is rightly said that innovation, invention, imagination brings creativity, generativity and operativity. Today in this modern time, on this social media, we have become live, online. Everything is transparent today. Everything is transparent today. But after all of these inventions, behind these inventions, there is the importance of history. Our India has provided them the history to the worldly people. It has been proved that by winning from Corona, 140 crore people has got winning. During this time, it was the result of the invention and innovative skills, invention in the science and innovation in the medical field. That's why it happened. And now today in this present time, India has become exporter and exporter of the different goods, not only in any particular field, but in medicine, in agriculture, industry, transportation, communication, defense, railways, hospitals. In all the fields we have become exporter, exposer and explorer. Why? Because of the past of our India. Because of the past of our India. Because of the history of our India. Because of the story of our India. These are some similar words. Story, history and past. Drama is the name of invention, innovation, imagination, creativity, generativity and operativity. Dramatically, we think when one person speaks and answers itself, it is known as dramatic monologue in English. Monologue. To the technique of monologue, I am speaking and listening. I myself is questioning and I myself is answering. That is the form of dramatic monologue in English. When we go to the past history or story of our India, we find that our Indian land is the land of warriors. freedom fighters, philosophers, psychologists, novelists, dramatists, all came in India. All came in India. Numberless freedom fighters we have in our different religions. Today we celebrate different festivals. Today we celebrate many festivals, but at every festival it has a story, it has a message, it has a history of our forefathers, foretellers, forecasters, those who came first on this land. They tell us, they make us realize them. That's why our Indian land is really the land of starters, builders and initiators. Our forefathers, those who spent their time with nature, whether they faced a lot of problems, but they did not care because they were with the freedom fighters. Our sacrificial bodies, numberless unsung people today we have in our history. Those who are not being recorded, those who were not recorded in any history, but they sacrificed themselves for this holy land. This is the energy, power, strength of our nation, for which our present national policy claims for the world. So there should not be any inferiority, there should not be any frustration, because we have the company, association of such devoted and dedicated persons of this society and nation, always with us. This thing is predicted by William Wordsworth through his poems. We will read this thing in this modern time also. With the stream of consciousness technique, you will read this thing. Ezra Pound, perhaps you have gone through. James Joyce, Ezra Pound, Mrs. Galloway, Virginia Woolf. These are some important techniques of stream of consciousness. According to stream of consciousness technique, it says that where we are physically, there we must be mentally. If the place is equal, time is different. Time is equal, place is different according to stream of consciousness technique. And all the changes that occurred, that came in the life of the people of our society, that happened due to stream of consciousness technique. You will read numberless such characters in the writings of Mrs. Galloway or Virginia Woolf. We wrote it. Means that our present lies in the past. Our present is more important than others. No doubt our present lies in the past. Our present is totally influenced by past. But it means not that we are to ignore the past or future. Past and future are equally important for providing the existence of Lord or God. It is written in all our holy religions, by the repetition of the holy words, we feel the presence of Lord always with us. Repetition. Repetition is the method of meditation. Repetition is another name of method of meditation. Meditatively, if we repeat, then we feel the presence of Lord. It is written all our holy scriptures of this holy land. And all the novelists, dramatists, grammarians, those who wrote the literature, they were totally influenced by our holy scriptures. They were not away from the bitter truth of religions. They were strongly associated with such principles and doctrines of the holy fathers, spiritual fathers. William Shakespearean writings, Dryden's writings, Miltonic writings, Jordan, perhaps you have studied Jordan. Have you gone through and find Jordan? Jordan, who is known as metaphysical poet. He belongs to which age? Metaphysics. He belongs to metaphysics. He writes about what? He writes about metaphysics. He belongs to metaphysical school. Meta means beyond to reach. Something is invisible. Something is hidden. Something is latent. We have around us. That is the form of metaphysical. And Jordan is known as a love poet. He says that if you want to know the real truth of life, ultimate truth of life, then you must first know about this physical world. This physical world is very important for you to reach at the height of spiritualism. According to whom? Jordan. He writes a poem. Any poem are you recollecting or remembering? He says correctly says, go and catch a falling star. Go and catch a falling star. Imperative style of speaking he is using there. Rightly he is saying, go, orderly, go and catch a falling star. What does he say in that poem? It is easy to catch a falling star. It's not a tough task. It's a cup of tea. It's not hard nut to crack for anyone. Anyone can do so. Go and catch a falling star. Anyone can get the child from the mandrake root. This is also possible. There are many possibilities in the world, but something is impossible. What's that? If you find a woman who is beautiful and faithful, that is the most impossible thing in the world. According to Jordan, you will read this truth through the writings of Jordan. And Jordan further writes in his poem, perhaps you have studied, you will read this thing in Dunn's poems only, especially in Dunn's poems. Many such poems forbidding morning. In that poem he also says the meaning of valediction, forbidding morning. And Dafli. Another important poem is Dafli. In that poem he says, what is the true meaning of marriage? According to him, marriage is nothing. Just when mosquito cut the beloved one time and second one it cuts the lover, then both they have mingled through the blood, and it is the meaning of marriage, nothing else it is. According to Jordan, whatsoever he has presented in the plea. So you will read these things, these philosophical ideas in Danish poem especially. Jordan basically is known as love poet. But William Shakespeare, who has written the definition of love in the form of that, love is like a north star of sky, which never turns its direction. It takes its fixed position in the sky. That is the meaning of true love. Secondly, he said, true love means the tempest in the ocean. It is like a lighthouse in the ocean. It is like a lighthouse in the ocean. When the ships passes through them, that lighthouse shows them the path, but never shaken by the storms. It remains concrete. It has its fixed position. in the ocean. Further, it is said by William Shakespeare that true love never shaken by any impediment, by hurdles and obstacles. It never cares worldly things. That is the true love, that is the spiritual love, and that is the platonic love sold to super spiritual power of God, or one of God. Same thing we can say, Lord of super spiritual power of God. That is the true love. Never shaken, that is never changed by obstacles, hindrances, difficulties, hurdles. It happens usually in the human life. And perhaps Shakespeare also expressed at one place that our negative thoughts, negativities, are so powerful than the positivities. If one say that someone has drunk the water of the whole ocean, he says that for the some time I can believe. It may happen with anyone. It may happen by the blessings of God or this God. But if second one say that he has uplifted the whole Himalayan range, he says, I can accept it. I can believe on it. It may happen like Hanumanji of our Hindu mythology. We can say they may have done so. But if someone says that he has controlled his negative thoughts, I can never believe. Who says? Our Hindu scripture says, and William Shakespeare has collected such views. William Shakespeare has collected such views in his poems. You will find this thing. He says, let me note to the marriage of true. Let me note to the marriage of true minds. मुझे सच्चे दिमाग के लोगों से शादी करने दो. फिर positively he want to say that let me do the marriage with true hearts. सच्चे दिल के लोगों से शादी करने दो. Because he says that mind is the storehouse of our information, instructions, ifs, buts, all these words, what, when, where, how, whom, these words are created by mind, not by our heart, according to William Wordsworth. That's why he says, let me do the marriage with true hearts, not of minds. Mind never creates any if, but, what, when, where, why, who, whose, whom, any word. It doesn't create. So you will find these philosophical ideas of William Shakespeare in Let Me Know to the True Minds. In the next poem, at one place, you will read this thing. No marble nor the gilded monuments are appropriate or suitable for realizing me the sweet memories of my past friend. Who says? William Shakespeare, who was his friend? Earl of Southampton. Earl of Southampton was his past friend, and he recollects such words and thoughts by saying that nothing in the world with whom I can show our past remembrance. How shall I compare thee? Further he says, how shall I compare thee? मैं तुम्हारी तुलना किससे करूं? This was the poem written by whom? William Shakespeare. किसको कह रहा है? अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ बिताए हुए स्वीट मोमेंट्स जो हैं उनको रिकलेक्ट करता हुआ. He says that how shall I compare thee? तुम्हारी तुलना मैं किससे करूं? यदि मैं समर से करता हूं तो समर इज टेम्परेरी. समर के साथ करता हूं, समर डेज तो टेम्परेरी होते हैं. अगर विंटर से करता हूं तो भी टेम्परेरी होते हैं. तो आप बताओ किससे आपको कंपेयर करूं? जैसे हमारे हिंदू मैथोलॉजी के अंदर आता है कि आपको बताइए गुरु कैसा है, हाउ इज योर मेंटर स्पिरिचुअल फादर, इज दैट like the sun? No, he says that there is no doubt he is well shined, he is well decorated like the sun, but there is no heat in it. Secondly, he says your spiritual father is like the moon. He says yes, you can say from some extent, because it has the moon light, but it does not have any stigma, color. Then you are to express about your spiritual father. Then thirdly, he says he is nothing like him. He cannot be compared. Unparalleled. क्या है वो? Unparalleled है, matchless है, incomparable है. वो किसी से तुलना उसकी नहीं की जा सकती है. वो है ये तुलनीय, वो तो वैसा ही है, वो तो वैसा ही है. He is he. कई बार हम होता है से हम बात करते हैं किसी से, वो फला कैसे, वो तो वैसा ही है. अब इसका कोई विलायन कर सकता है? Is there any evaluation, observation, examination do you find in these words? No. हम आपसे क्वेश्चन करूँ, how are you, आप क्या कहेंगे? आप क्या कहेंगे? how are you का रिप्लाई क्या देंगे? फाइन कहेंगे. लेकिन ये शब्द इंग्लिश में क्या कहते हैं? हाउ आर यू का मीनिंग ये भी हो सकता है हाउ यू आर. जैसे आप हैं, आप कैसे हैं? जैसे आप हैं, है ना? सेम टू यू, कई बार बोलता है सेम टू यू. तो इंग्लिश के जो वर्ड है हमें बताते हैं कि हर वर्ड इंग्लिश का ये अपने आप में परफेक्ट है, कंप्लीट है. और जब हम इन शब्दों का प्रयोग करना सीखते हैं, हाउ टू एडजस्ट दीज वर्ड्स व्हाइल आंसरिंग द क्वेश्चन, देन वी नो द पर्टिकुलर मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड्स. दैट इज आल्सो एक्सप्लेन्ड बाय विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ. What is the true meaning of love? What is the true meaning of hate? What is the true meaning of enemy? What is the true meaning of friend? These two things from this father of essays and father of dramas you will find. Who is the father of drama? Who is the father of drama? Father of dramas, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is known as the father of dramas. And who is the father of essays? Who is the father of essays? Francis Bacon. These are the two prominent personalities of Elizabethan age that you will read, that you will know that what's the true meaning of the words. अब simply आप introduction देते हैं. When you say what's your name? Yes, please. Name, education, family, hobby, and objective. Yes, please start. Yes, express yourself, please. हम आपको बताएंगे ना इनका मीनिंग क्या है. एक्चुअली ये बता रहे हैं हम. नेम, एजुकेशन, फैमिली, हॉबी और ऑब्जेक्टिव. इनको एक्चुअल मीनिंग क्या है इनके, और हमारे माइंड में इनके प्रति क्या फोबिया है ना? अब किसी के सामने फैमिली की बात कर लो, उसके सामने बात ये है कि वो मैरिड है या अनमैरिड है ना? लेकिन फैमिली का मीनिंग ये नहीं होता है. फैमिली का मतलब जिनके साथ हम रहते हैं, फेम, जिनके साथ हम रहते हैं वो हमारी फैमिली होती है, चाहे हमारे माता पिता क्यों ना हो, चाहे हमारे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स क्यों ना हो. लेकिन बच्चे कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. मैंने काफी बार पूछा बच्चों से, यूनिवर्सिटीज में, कॉलेजेस में, स्कूल में, तो उनको ऐसा नाम लेते ही वो चक्कर में पड़ जाते हैं, सोचने पड़ जाते हैं क्या बोलूं क्या ना बोलूं. मींस दैट इन वर्ड्स का एक्चुअल मीनिंग है वो क्या कहता है हमें उसको समझना है. हाँ जी बोलिए. शाबाश. स्टार्ट योर नेम प्लीज फर्स्ट. जैसे I am Diksha. I am Diksha. My name is very important for me, and this name was given by my parents. It English meaning of my name is मेरा English means हर किसी का name का meaning होता है अच्छा yes आप लोग कुछ सोचे नहीं होगा ना चीज़ों के बारे में तो ये अपने बारे में तो काफी कुछ आना चाहिए 2 to 5 वर्ड्स बोल रहे हैं 2 to 5 सेंटेंसेस बोल रहे हैं या फिर 2 to 5 मिनट्स तक बोलना है ठीक है आप नेक्स्ट एजुकेशन देखो एक शब्द बोलते शुरू हो गया ना एक शब्द पे कंसंट्रेट नहीं करना हमें इस टॉपिक का मीनिंग है कि अपने आप को इमेजिनेशन करना है सोचना है माय पास्ट माय स्कूल एजुकेशन that school in that year I got good marks I had many friends there it was a good school for me like that a number of ideas your mind automatically will generate when you will go in imagination इसके साथ आगे बढ़िए family I have a family I have a nuclear family I have a joint family nuclear family जिसमें हमारे माता पिता होते हैं मदर फादर होते हैं और हमारे yes I live in joint family there are 10 to 12 members in my family my grandparents are also with me and my family is very important for me because I share my sorrows and joys with them I share my food with them and they are very helpful for me financially economically politically emotionally politically personally they support me thank you हाँ इसी तरीके से आप जनरेट करें अपने माइंड को थोड़ा टाइम देवें और ऑटोमेटिकली आपका माइंड एक शब्द से दूसरा शब्द जनरेट करने की शक्ति अंदर आपके है हर किसी बॉडी के माइंड के अंदर है ये भगवान ने हमें गॉड गिफ्टेड टैलेंट दिया हुआ है किसी को तो हमें उसको टाइम देना है थोड़ा माइंड में सर्च करता है कि मैं क्या वर्ड बोलूं नेम का पूछा तो क्या बोलूं कैसे शुरू करूं और एक बार शुरू कर लेते हैं तो फिर आपके माइंड में ऑटोमेटिकली सेकंड वर्ड जनरेट होना शुरू हो जाता है बोलिए देखिए माय नेम कोई बात नहीं आपने बताया लेकिन आई से ज्यादा सही है शाबाश आपकी नेम को पूरा डीपली आप एनालाइज कर सकते हैं आई राइट इन माय नेम KOMAL 5 it has 5 words and this name is very important for me जनरेट करो आइडियाज क्रिएटिविटी यही तो है बस नेम हो गया एजुकेशन ओके फैमिली चाइल्ड इन फैमिली हॉबी तो आप उसको बजाय कि इन स्पाइट ऑफ वन वर्ड यू हैव टू थिंक एंड इमेजिन by saying that I have many hobbies like reading, speaking English, watering plants, dancing, swimming. Sometimes the most favorite hobby of my life is to water the plants. Like that, you can imagine. And then I was still working on objective. Objective means getting. What is that? I have many objectives. I have many objectives. क्योंकि हर चीज का ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है और हर एज के अंदर हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव होता रहता है कि भाई ये हम किसी डॉक्टर को देखते हैं मुझे ऐसा होना चाहिए हम किसी मिनिस्टर को देखते हैं मुझे ऐसा होना चाहिए तो ये हमारे जो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं ये चेंजेबल है हमेशा एक जैसे तो रहते नहीं है ना तो ऐसे ही हमें अपने माइंड को बोलने के लिए फ्रीडम देना है थोड़ा सा टाइम फीलिंग का टाइम देना है उसको तो फिर ये माइंड ऑटोमेटिकली जनरेट करना शुरू करता है I had many objectives in my school. I wanted to become so and so, but now I am studying in college. After completing my education, I would like to go abroad in any country. Thank you. This is enough. Yes, please. Well done. Yes, please. Name again. Name. Anu. What's the meaning of your name? Who gave you this name? When did this name was given to you? When you were born. Okay. How this name was given you? There was arranged a function, there was a party, and like this, any festival maybe on that occasion, this name was given me. My name is very important for me. Yes, yes, please. I am Ravina. I am from Baya, or you can say Baya is my hometown. और ये जरूरी नहीं है कि आप एग्जैक्टली सच ही बोलना है, झूठ बोल सकते हैं आप। यस आई बिलोंग टू यूएस से, कनाडा, यू कैन इमेजिन। यहाँ मीनिंग क्या है हमारा कि हमें अपने आप को बोलना, इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग करना और अपने आप को जनरेटिविटी में लाना, क्रिएटिविटी में। इमेजिनेशन का मतलब यही तो है। इमेजिनेशन का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप एग्जैक्टली सच बता रहे हैं और आप भी सोच के हैरान हो जाए कि तो भाई इसको तो कुछ है ही नहीं। नहीं, ऐसा इमेजिन नहीं करना। इमेजिन करना है पॉजिटिवली, मेरिटोरियस। आपको मेरिट्स को काउंट करना है। जब आपका माइंड मेरिटोरियस होगा तो नेचुरली आपका माइंड आपको सपोर्ट करता है बोलने में। थैंक यू, प्लीज। यस yes. I am Tatna. My English name is Dream. Imagination. I have many hobbies. थोड़ा सोचना है, थोड़ा टाइम देना है माइंड को। ऐसे एकदम से शब्द पे क्या नाम से बोलते थे उसको, थोड़ा सा टाइम दो ना कि जनरली यूजुअली कॉमनली पहले दिमाग को थोड़ा सा नॉर्मल करोगे तो शुरू अपना जनरेट करेगा। फिर शाबाश बोलिए। What's your objective? I have many objectives like this and this and so, but now it's my first objective to pass out my final year with good marks. Very good. Yes, please. What's your name? Sangeeta. Sangeeta, what's the English name of your meaning of your name? No. Okay. What is your hobby? Dancing. First of all, you have to generalize the topic. I have many hobbies like this and this, like singing, dancing, speaking, reading, writing, reading newspaper. And my most favorite hobby is singing. Okay. And sing. What's your objective? Everyone has objective behind his life. Everyone. हर किसी का अपने जीवन के अंदर एक ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है, चाहे कोई भी है। तो आप इमेजिन कर सकते हैं, you want to join any defense, administration, or in any other department that you have selected in your life. Count them. What do you want to be? क्या बनना चाहते हैं? Who is your role model? Who is your role model? किस जैसा बनना चाहते हैं? ideal of your life. You can select from your mother, from your sister, from your other, those who have around you, like that thing, I want to be like a to be like doctor. Yes. I haven't decided what you want to be. Teacher. Okay. Yes. I am from. तो इससे पहले शुरुआत कैसे करें? I am और फिर I am from. ठीक है ना? ऐसे ही आपको I से शुरुआत करनी है. ये I वर्ड जो है ऑटोमेटिकली आपको कॉमननेस में लेकर जाता है, जनरलाइज करता है आपके नेम को, आपके एजुकेशन को, फैमिली को, हॉबी को और आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव को. जब तक आप I को कॉन्फिडेंटली नहीं बोलते तब तक आपका माइंड आपको सपोर्ट नहीं करता. इसलिए I को कॉन्फिडेंटली बोलिए ताकि आप ये हो कि आपको बहुत ज़्यादा वर्ड माइंड में प्रोसेसिंग में जनरेट में आए. Speak out with drama. Yes, drama. What is drama? Is one of the most dynamic forms of literature. It is different from the other forms of literature. In popular context, the drama means any kind of performance on stage which satisfies the primitive human instinct to derive pleasure from an act of imitation. This act may be in the form of mime, comedy, tragedy, or tragic comedy. More especially, the drama is a play written for enactment by actors on the affairs of human beings. Thus, drama is a performative art in which a group of actors play the roles of certain characters before the audience. Although drama is continuously evolving as an art form, it makes a heavy demand on the mind and imagination of the audience. Everything cannot be represented on the stage. There are many vital elements in the action of the play which are conveyed to the audience through symbols, soliloquies, and suggestions, and through off-stage sounds and utterances. The basic elements of theatre. What are the basic elements of theatre? Theatre is needed in drama. What are the elements that are needed in the theatre? One is the text. The text means the written script according to which a play is performed on the stage. It is the basic requirement of any any theatrical performance. Performance. Are you feeling comfortable in speaking? After the script is ready, the play is performed on the stage. Now it is the turn of the director, actor, designers, technicians, dancers, musicians, and other collaborators who work in unison on the stage, scenario or plan, audience. Now you have got performance. What is the meaning of performance? Who is a performer? What is the meaning of performance? Who is a performer? A person who performs on the stage in front of the people, in front of the crowd. That is performance. Next, speak audience. Audience. There can be no play without an audience or the spectators. If there is no audience, no spectator, the play, the drama cannot be executed. Theater requires an audience. What is the requirement of the theater? Audience, spectators must be there. Without spectator, without audience, there is no existence of the theater. The drama, in fact, without an audience, the drama is lifeless and incomplete. Lifeless and incomplete if there is no audience, because audience are equally important while playing any game. If audiences are there, spectators are there, then they will applaud us, they will admire, appreciate by their clapping, by their booting. Then automatically we can perform well in the presence of the audience and spectators. The physical presence of an audience can change a performance, inspire actors, and create expectations. What does it create? Expectations. And what does it inspire? Whom it inspires? Actors. Yes, next, reception. Good reception by the audience is the life of the drama. What does the meaning of reception? Starting, initiation, beginning is known as the reception. If the audience likes a play, it can be performed again before another audience. Genre. What is the meaning of genre? As a genre, drama is continuously evolving form of art. Drama can be divided into the categories of tragedy, comedy, melodrama, history plays, problem plays, symbolic drama, classic comedy. So this is the treasure. Genre means treasure of literature. साहित्य का खजाना, साहित्य के contents, ingredients of the literature. Genre means ingredients of the literature. What are that? Tragedy, comedy, melodrama. Melodrama means cynical drama. History plays, problem plays, symbolic drama, and tragic comedy. Next, dialogue. What is a dialogue? Conversation and dialogue. मोनोलॉग पढ़ा था ना ये मोनोलॉग में क्या होता है? मोनोलॉग in a monologue, one is the speaker and the same is listener. वही speaker होता है, वही listener होता है. But dialogue में क्या होते हैं? One is listener, second one is speaker. One is speaker, second one is listener. It needs I and you. I की भी जरूरत है उसमें, you की भी जरूरत है, या फिर we की जरूरत है और you की जरूरत है इसमें. ठीक है? इसको क्या बोलेंगे? Dialogue बोलते हैं. बोलिए dialogue is the main ingredient of the play. Ingredient of a play. There can be no play without dialogues. Without dialogues कोई play possible ही नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसमें two characters क्या करते हैं? आप इसमें conversation करते हैं. So it needs conversational partner. It needs conversational partner for imagining, for speaking. Yes, stagecraft. Stagecraft is the technical aspect of theatrical production. It includes backdrop, sound, light, costumes, makeup, and procurement of props, stage management, and recording, and mixing of sound, rhythm. What is the natural meaning of the rhythm? Rhythmically, our students, school students perform their poems. School children perform their poems rhythmically. So, like that, rhythm is also the part of the drama. It's also the part of the drama. So, plot, character, language, and spectacle all have their individual rhythms in time. The combination of all these rhythms creates the impelling force of the play, leading to a final climax and denouement. Parts of the drama according to Aristotle. Now, begin. Two theories we have read, Aristotle and Plato. There are two critics, those who are very important in the different subjects like political science, economics, sociology, in English literature as well. Plato says that any drama, novel, short story written by the creator on the basis of the ideas. First idea comes in our mind, then we start writing anything. First come idea. First come idea. Idea is so powerful that give us energy to write anything. According to whom? Plato. According to whom? Plato. Not according to Aristotle. Aristotle says that, what does he say? Everything that we have around us, this lecture stand, this mic, that mobile, fan, camera, whatsoever we see around us, that has come from imitation. A person who has created these things, जिसने इन चीजों को बनाया है, who has created these things, then he or she has imitated. उसने क्या किया? उसको imitate किया है. आइडिया से नहीं आया वो. किसके अकॉर्डिंग? एरिस्टोटल के अकॉर्डिंग. अगर ड्रामा लिखा है शेक्सपियर ने, अगर ड्रामा शेक्सपियर ने लिखा है, ड्रामेटिक आर्ट को शो किया है, तो इट हैज हैपेंड ड्यू टू इमिटेशन. नकल किया है, पहले कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ सुना है, फिर बनाया है. जैसे ये लेक्चर स्टैंड है, फॉर एग्जांपल इन लेक्चर स्टैंड, see here someone who has made it, somewhere he has copied it, from somewhere he has copied it, its design, its style, its size, shape, figure, whatsoever it has been copied, it has been imitated according to Aristotle, not according to Plato. Simply हम कहते हैं कि मुर्गी पहले है कि अंडा पहले, like that we see there. What do we say in it? In writing any drama, in writing any novel, how it was written initially? On what basis it was written? जैसे हमारे संसार की रचना हुई है, क्या पढ़ते हैं इसके बारे में? हाउ द वर्ड हैज कम इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एक्जिस्टेंस इन द होली बाइबल, द होली साइन, द होली कुरान, द गुरु साइन. What does our scripture say about the creation of this earth? There are different theories. They have different theories. Someone may say that मुर्गी पहले है कि अंडा पहले है? पता है क्या पहले है? अंडा पहले है? नहीं माने, पहले मुर्गी है ना? यानी God himself created him in the form of light and sound. फिर उसकी रचना, ये means idea first came in the world. Ideology. This theory was propounded by whom? Plato. प्लेटो ने कहा, क्या कहा? कि संसार की जो रचना हुई है वो कैसे हुई है? एक आइडिया से हुई है. तो उससे पहले आइडिया आया था, एक विचार आया था, और उस विचार से इस संसार की रचना हुई है. एरिस्टोटल सेज imitating. In his book, The Poetics, Aristotle mentions the following parts of drama. One is plot or action. According to Aristotle, plot as the first essential of drama. Very simple meaning of the plot is planning. प्लॉट का मीनिंग क्या होता है? जैसे खाली प्लॉट लेते हैं, मकान बनाते हैं ना, उसको वही वर्ड है. ये कॉमनली बड़ा जनरल सा मीनिंग है इसका कि प्लॉट मींस प्लानिंग करना, आउटलाइनिंग करना, माइंड के अंदर फ्रेमिंग करना. जैसे आप कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं, कुछ लिखना चाहते हैं, तो हम सबसे पहले माइंड हमारा क्या करता है? आइडियाज की फ्रेमिंग करता है, आइडियाज की आउटलाइनिंग करता है. उसको हम यहाँ पे क्या कह रहे हैं? प्लॉट या फिर एक्शन कह रहे हैं. बोलिए, अकॉर्डिंग टू एरिस्टोटल, plot as the first essential of drama. Plot is the arrangement of events and incidents in the action of the play in such a way that they get organized into an artistic unit, sequence wise, artistically, orderly. We try to think. जैसे भी हम ये कहें कि how do you prepare tea? Do you prepare tea? Do you prepare tea at home? ऐसा ही prepare है ना? तो फिर क्या बोलेंगे? First of all, I take a pen, then put some water in it, then I put it on the stove, and then yes, you speak please. How you prepare tea? एनीथिंग जो भी हम प्रोसेसिंग दिखाते हैं उसमें क्या दिखाते हैं, स्टेप बाय स्टेप दिखाते हैं, सीक्वेंस दिखाते हैं। वैसे ही हम अपने विचारों के अंदर सबसे पहले हम क्या सोचें, सबसे पहले हम क्या सोचें, बाद में फिर क्या हम देखें, फिर क्या हम सुने, फिर क्या हम बोलें और फिर क्या हम करें। ये सभी चीजें सीक्वेंस वाइज हमारे इस कंस्ट्रक्शन के अंदर चलती हैं, जो ये बता रहा है वन बाय वन। What is the unity of the plot is the result of the necessary relationship order among the events. Unity is needed. Firstly, क्या कहा इसने? Unity is needed. This is also the great feature of our nation. Unity, diversity. We have diversities. We have adversities, we have varieties, but one thing is important, that is unity. That is unity. All in one. All in one. One in all, or all in one. All in one, or one in all. This arrangement of events, just to speak on this arrangement of events produces the desired present or coming effect. There are two kinds of plots, simple plot and complex plot. In the simple plot, the story moves from the beginning to the end without any reversal or change in its course. On the other hand, in a complex plot, there are twists and change in the story. What is the difference between complex and simple plot? Yes. Complex plot contains changes and twists. It takes turn. It takes twist according to time, place, and action. But in the simple plot, there is no change. There is no complexity. There is no difficulty. There is no hurdle, there is no twist, there is no turns, but it runs smoothly. For example, in a tragic complex plot, the climax or tragedy comes because of a reversal of fortune or situation in the life of the main character. It may be because of change in fortune of the hero or because of his own fatal error of judgment. Next part is characters. Third is protagonist or the hero. Four is thought or theme or idea. Five is diction or style. Six is music. And seven is spectacle. These are the parts of the drama. Yes,